You can't go one show without just not mentioning Declan Rice. You know, he's probably rattled because Rice made team of the season, not Caicedo. The players don't rate Caicedo like that. No one rates tackles attempted.
He's shit, man. He's shit. Yeah.
No, I never said he's shit. He's just not better than Rice, in my opinion. But anyway, you know, it's always funny listening to Don speak about Chelsea because he like rates his players so highly yet has no expectations. You see how the difference?
Wait. What do you mean I've got no expectations?
44 minutes of the show. Let me speak. Let me talk. He's rattled already. Let me speak. 44 minutes of the show. Guys, when we spoke about Liverpool, I said it's must-win game. All hell will break loose if we lose. It's the end of the world if we lose. The manager will get sacked, blah, blah, blah. Don speaks so highly of his players. He said in the previous section, Estevao is the best right winger in the whole league. He said that fully without a problem. Like he fully said that. And he probably rates Caicedo and Enzo better than the Arsenal double pivot. He probably rates all of the positions other than centre-back and goalkeeper above the Arsenal positions. Yet he sits here and has minimal expectation. Oh, we should challenge or we should get top 4. But guess what? Arsenal must. Like, it's just, how can I say, let's say me and Terry are going to go into a fight. I say, I look at Terry straight. I look at Terry straight in the face and I go like, Terry, I'm better than you at 4 facets of boxing out of 5. But you see that 5th facet? That's the reason why you must. You guys are so illogical when it comes to this Chelsea conversation. If you rate your players so highly, let me land, brother. If you rate your players so highly and you rate your team so highly, you have to have expectations on them. Meaning, I'm very objective about this. I don't think Arsenal fans should expect to go away to Stamford Bridge and win. I don't. I rate Chelsea. I think Chelsea are a very good side, which is why I say a draw away at Stamford Bridge is a good result for Arsenal. But as a Chelsea fan, you should go into that game expecting to win. You should be expecting to beat Burnley as well. Barcelona, fair enough. It's a difficult game. You never know what happens. 50-50, blah, blah, blah. But those 2 games, in my opinion, Arsenal and Burnley should be expected.
I think that smoke is stuck in your ears because we didn't even have...
Are you in the title race? Are you in the title race?
Yeah. Right now, as it is, yes, we are, bro.
Okay.
We are.
Do you expect your team to be there in March time, April time? Do you expect to be there in crunch time?
The only way, I've said this many times now, Husam, the only way we're going to compete this year is if we can keep Fofana as a bare minimum fit, right? At least one of those centre-backs. We need to keep Fofana fit because I cannot be dependent on Tosin and Chalobah to be playing most of these games because we know what they're like. We know what those 2 are like, bro. I've accepted what they are, right? And we need a little bit of solidity because we're scoring goals right now. Only Man City have scored.
You realize you just indirectly said no because you said keep Fofana.
Yeah, I just told you. I just told you how we're going to compete. I'm not going to just come here. No. Hold on, Husam. I'm not going to just come here and just say, yeah, we're going to compete regardless because I have to be realistic, bro. I'm looking at our centre-back situation and it's peak. Yeah.
Okay. If we have Arsenal,
hold on, Husam. If we had the centre-back depth that Arsenal have, right now I'll be chilling. I'll be sitting here with chest saying, yeah, we're competing regardless. I can't sit here like that because my best centre-back is very injury-prone, right? And then the other guy on the other side who helps him is another injury-prone guy as well. You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe Arsenal must?
Yes, Arsenal must. They've got the best squad in the league, right?
Great. Gabriel is injured. Joker is injured.
They've got
Havertz is injured. Jesus is injured. Madueke is injured. So if you want to go down this injury, because you're such a fraud, but you cannot out-fraud me. I'm a bigger fraud than you. So you cannot out-fraud the biggest fraud. It's the reality of the situation. You can't come here and go like, if Fofana is fit, because Fofana is never fit. Fofana is never fit. So basically, chat, let me translate from fraudulence to English. I asked Don, do you expect to be there in March, April? His response is, if Fofana is fit. So
why can't I say that?
He indirectly said no. Indirectly.
Yes, bro. Yes, because
you don't expect to be in the top place then.
Okay, let me ask you a question then. Yeah. What do you think is Chelsea's biggest problem this season, bro? When you've been watching our games, if you actually watch our games, what's been our biggest problem this season so far?
I think it's been a mixture of things. I don't think you have a singular biggest problem.
Okay, what's the weakest part of our team then? Let me ask you that.
Weakest part right now, I'll probably say your wingers and centre back, in my opinion. Those 2 are equal bad.
You can say our wingers aren't that strong, but only Man City have scored more goals than us. Yeah, our wingers right now are contributing more than your wingers for one.
Yeah, but that's,
you know what I'm saying? Our wingers came on. Our wingers, Esteban and Gittins came on against your team and absolutely embarrassed you, man. Yeah, they all played a part in the goal that we scored.
What does that have to do with that? Galatasaray embarrassed us.
Our attack, you listen. You're just trying to move away from the centre backs because you know that our biggest.
No, I don't.
Now,
I said centre backs. Don't lie. I said centre backs.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, your wingers too.
I said centre back and winger equally. I don't rate Garnacho and Gittins.
Listen, that's fine.
I don't rate Pedro Neto.
They're not a problem right now, right? The biggest problem that we've seen this season is our centre backs, bro. Go remind yourself of the goal that Sunderland scored. Yeah, go remind yourself of the goal that Josh King scored when they embarrassing tossing. Go remind yourself of Henderson. You mentioned Henderson earlier. Henderson just had to look up and see a palm tree at the back, play it over to the palm tree because he knew what time it would be for Sade. You're basically playing against a mannequin, right? So why am I gonna come here, Husam, with all this confidence about competing when I know when Fofana's gone, it's now Tosin coming into the lineup, bro. It's now Chalobah and Tosin. Chalobah and Tosin together is a car crash, right? Chalobah needs to be playing next to someone who's actually good. When Chalobah was next to Silva, he was good. When he was next to Cole last season, he was good. The last 2 games, when he's been next to Fofana, he's been good, right? But when they're not there, when there's not a competent guy next to him, his brain goes everywhere. Because he looks at Tosin, he's like, yo, are you going to be the guy that's going to be leading me? Or it's me. Oh, shit, I can't do it. And they fuck about, right? So I am not confident competing without our main centre-back staying fit. Because we haven't got Colwell, right? And Fofana, like I said, the quality that he brings into the team is mad. You say he's never fit, bro. It feels like that. But last year, he was fit until Christmas. It's no surprise that when he went, our defense started to be a little bit shabby. You know what I mean? So all I need from that guy is just roll out. Just give.
Okay, let me ask you straight questions. Let me ask you straight questions. No agendas, no narratives. Who has the better forward line, Chelsea or Arsenal? Legit question.
I think it's us, bro. I think our attack's better than them. I've literally betted that we're going to score more goals than them.
Okay, great. Who has the better midfield, Chelsea or Arsenal?
Chelsea, bro.
Who has the better fullbacks, Chelsea or Arsenal?
Chelsea, bro.
Okay. So now let's take a step back. Don't get mad. Just hear me out. No, hear me out. By definition, if I'm saying forward line were better, midfield were better, fullbacks were better, I cannot have lower expectation than the other team just because they have better center backs. Because your logic now becomes so illogical, meaning you're basically implying that it does not matter.
Why didn't you ask me who's got better?
Let me finish. Because we all know Ryan, Gabriel, and Saliba are better. If you claim that the Chelsea
doesn't fit your narrative, though. It doesn't fit your narrative, right? If you had asked me that, I would have said Arsenal.
Can I land? Let me land. Let me explain my point first. Let me explain my point first. You see what I said to Terry earlier on about the boxing thing? If I went into a fight with someone and I said, I'm better than you at 4 out of 5 things, but you're better than me just because you have this one thing better than me, I'm crazy. Because my logic is the following, and this is a consistent with Chelsea fans. You come here and you go like, we have a better forward line than Arsenal, better midfield than Arsenal, better fullbacks than Arsenal. But the only reason why Arsenal must and we mustn't is because of the centre backs. What you're indirectly implying is actually very dangerous. You're basically saying, in order for a team to win the league, they have to just get very good centre backs, and around it, even if you're mediocre or above average or just good, nothing special, you can still win the league. Factually, the data doesn't support. No, watch this. Factually, the data doesn't support your narrative, because what Ferguson said was correct at the time. The last 10 Premier League winners, Ashraf actually, big up, he comes on the Football Terrace as well, did a check on this. I think it was either 7 or 8 of the last 10 Premier League winners have actually had the strongest attacks. Because last season, the strongest defense didn't win the league. The year before that, the strongest defense didn't win the league. So if we go by the attack narrative, you should be better than Arsenal.
No, but the thing is, though, what did you say earlier? Terry, what did this guy say earlier, bro? I'm about to kill him with his own logic. This guy said, we can't compete for nothing because we can't keep our goals. That's what you said, yeah? You said we can't keep our goals. Oh, you said, we're scoring goals. You said we're scoring goals.
That's not what I said at all.
You literally said...
Don, I won't interrupt you, but don't change my words.
Hold on, Terry. Did he not say...
You can't change my words and then do a whole argument.
Terry, did he not say we've scored 18 goals this season? Our biggest problem has been the goals that we've been conceding. Did you say...
No, I said it's our structure and our system and the manager. Terry knows this. I said 80% Arne Slot.
Yeah, but your defense hasn't been good enough, right? So I can use the same logic for me, right?
But I don't believe it's the defense.
Hold on, Husam. My centre backs don't give me the confidence, right, that I want in order to come here and sit with chest. You can't compare. You can't compare. Hold on,
But
Terry.
your midfield and attack and fullbacks give you the confidence.
Hold on, Terry. Yeah, you can't compare Arsenal having Hincapié and Mosquera in reserve to us having Tosin and fucking Chalobah in reserve.
Well, this is what I wanted to ask you, Dom. So, and indulge me on this. So, how much better is Arsenal's goalkeeper Raya than your goalkeeper Sanchez? How much better do you know? What's the difference in level?
I think the main difference between them is their distribution. I think Raya is clearly better on the ball, but everything else, I look at them, they're the same. So both their cross collections good. They're both very good shot stoppers, but Raya on the ball is better than Sanchez. That's not a debate for me.
So there's a marginal difference there then, just one area. Okay, marginal.
Yep.
In terms of your centre-backs and Arsenal's, how much better do you find are Arsenal than you in a centre-back area?
I mean, Gabriel's not there.
Absolutely clear of you?
Gabriel's world-class. He's better than all of our centre-backs, obviously. And then for me, I think the only guy, no, bro, listen, Fofana can go bar for bar, these guys, but the only problem is his injury record. That's the only thing that brings that guy down. But when you talk about the depth, their depth is better than us, Terry, bro. Like, their centre-backs is top.
But how much better? Because I asked this because you've said on a number of occasions.
It's clearly better.
Clearly better.
The centre-back depth is clearly better, yeah.
Okay. So then when you look at the midfield, are you clearly better than their midfield or is it marginal?
I mean, obviously with Palmer in there, I think we're clearly better than them. I think we'll create more chances than them. You know what I'm saying? I think we're more fluid than them. I think we play through our midfield better than them. Right? We've got Caicedo, who's better than everything that they've got in there. You know what I'm saying, bro?
On a defensive level, okay, cool. Yep. And then in the attacking front, are you clearly better than them or is it marginal?
Nah, I wouldn't say clearly better. But I've predicted us to score more goals than them in our attack. Okay.
So this is the thing for me. When and your fullbacks, you've said yours are better. Clearly better or marginal? I would
say marginal. Okay. Marginal. I would say Reece and Timber, elite defensively, but Reece going the other way is clearly better than him, right? If you want the whole package, Reece James is your guy. And then at left back, I think Cucurella's clearly better than whatever they've got on that side, bro. Calafiori's been good this season, but bro, I think Cucurella's clearly better. Okay, so Timber and Reece quite close. Cucurella clearly better. See, this is where I look at the expectations, though, because this is what I've heard from you. Attack is fairly similar. Your midfield is clear. Their centre backs are clear. Fullbacks, it's close, but one of yours is clear. Goalkeepers, is a marginal difference. So when I look at that and go, you've got one area in your mind that's clear over them, it's midfield, which I think is the most important area for a football team. Their centre backs are clear of yours, but every other area you're either better than them or they're only marginally better than you. I don't understand why you wouldn't have a very similar level of expectation that you should be trying to win what they're winning when you believe your squad are by and large the same. Terry,
I'm going to ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. I have to ask you a question. I have to ask you. I refuse. Who's better, Maresca or Arteta?
Bro, don't ask me stupid questions, bro. I prefer Maresca's style of play, bro.
There you go, man.
Yeah?
So on top of all that, your manager is better.
Let's go.
The only reason why Arsenal must start is
That doesn't mean that I don't rate Arteta.
Am I crazy?
Husam, can I ask you something, bro? Can you prefer a manager's style of play to another manager's style of play, bro? Just yes or no? Yeah. Do you prefer Dyche's style of play, or do you prefer Ange's style of play, for example? Not even Ange. Let me use a better example. Slot style of play.
Slot, of course.
There we go then. So if I prefer my manager's style of play, if I prefer my style of play,
forget style of play. Forget style of play because I hang on a minute, guys, because I prefer watching how De Zerbi plays football, but I don't think he's a better manager than Jose Mourinho. So who do you think is better? Who do you think is a better manager of a team and club, Maresca or Arteta? Forget style of play. Who's the better coach? Who's the better guy in your opinion?
I'm sorry, bro. You're talking about a manager right now who's basically got everything that he needs, right? Maresca hasn't got everything that he needs. So you can't. It's an unfair comparison. Hang on.
No, tell you why it's not unfair. No. It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense.
You're asking me like 3-4 questions, bro, right? Give me their fucking centre backs. Give me their centre backs and give. No. Let me finish.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
I have to do a Tarde now. Let me finish. Yeah.
It's irrelevant though.
Centre backs. Give me their centre backs and give them my centre backs, and they are where we are.
That doesn't change anything. That doesn't. Hang on. Then.
They have
Wait a second. Just wait. I don't want to go down that path because it's not the point. Forget how good your squad is on there. No, forget how good their squad is. Forget how good or bad yours is. Who's the better coach? If they both had the same equal squad, which coach do you think's coming out on top?
Bro, listen, I'm not answering. I plead the fifth. Bro. You
Why?
get me? I plead the fifth on that one. No, because you're asking me a loaded. You're trying to ask me a
loaded. I want to know who you think's better. Loaded.
I've answered it already. Yeah. If you don't want to accept my answer, that's your problem.
No, you said you prefer the style of play. Not who's the better manager.
I love plays that cop out.
And you give Maresca those centre backs that they have. Right, it's a fucking different conversation that we're having.
This is why your logic doesn't make sense. You're refusing to. This is why your logic makes no sense. But you've also said your midfield is clear of them. So imagine if you gave Arteta your midfield, how much better they could be. The point is, this is what I'm saying. You are alluding to the fact that your squads are by and large the same. They've got one area that's clear of you centre-backs. You've got one area that's clear of them central midfield. You've got one full-back that's clear of theirs. The others are very much the same. Goalkeeper, they're marginally better. The attack, you think, is about the same. You don't think there's too much difference in it. You've also haven't quite said it, but you've implied that you think Maresca's better. So you think your squad overall is better, the better manager. But
when I say my squad overall is better, when I say that?
Who? You have to.
Overall is better.
Because of what you said. I'll repeat it. Attack's the same. Your midfield is clear. Their centre-backs are clear. So your attack's the same. Your midfield is clear. You said their centre-backs were clear. Your full-backs come in clear because you have one full-back that's better clear and one that's the same. And then you think that the goalkeepers, there's only a marginal difference. So there's only one area you think clear.
Yeah, but hold on. Terry, you've asked me this before, and I've told you already. The main difference between Chelsea and Arsenal is our centre-backs. That is the main difference, bro. Yeah? That is the main difference. You give me that centre-back depth, and I'm coming in with chest. Bro. You know what I mean, bro?
The rest of the team, I don't understand. But equally,
hold on. I'm not angry with
then why doesn't their midfield let them down? So why are you putting that pressure, though? So this is the point that doesn't make sense to anybody. I hear you. If you had their centre-backs, you would be a better team. Of course you would, because that's improving an area that you've got weak. But you're saying your midfield is clear of their midfield. So
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what my midfield does when we're fucking conceding 7 goals directly.
That's irrelevant. That's absolutely irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant, bro. It's not irrelevant.
You haven't let me finish. That's why you don't know.
How are you trying to dismiss the fact? Yeah. How are you trying to dismiss the fact that Chelsea have 7 goals directly from mistakes? We have conceded 7 goals directly from mistakes.
Right.
And our centre backs.
Every
single panel, every single show I'm doing, every single time I'm speaking. No, it's very relevant, bro.
No, not to my point. It's irrelevant to my point. So continue.
It's very relevant.
But you don't know what I'm about to say. So you have no idea what I'm about to say. So you don't know if it's relevant. But finish what you're saying.
Finish what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, you're saying Arsenal must. But yet you pull holes in their squad and their midfield ain't good enough here. This needs to improve. That isn't right, which is fair. You're allowed to
call their midfield shit, Terry. I've just said mine's better.
I didn't say it was shit, but you're saying it's clear. So your expectations of Chelsea, when you've got multiple areas of the pitch that's clear and a better manager, but yet you have so much more expectation on Arsenal. I think you put that pressure on Arsenal because you want to shit on them. I don't think you believe Arsenal is the best squad in the league.
Now you're capping though, because where have I said that Arsenal are a team that are going to be challenging for top 4, or Arsenal are a team that are going to get?
I didn't say that either. I didn't say you said it.
But the thing is though, we're in the same places then. You need to remember, right? Let's go back a little bit. Now, because people are still talking as if there's like a big difference between Chelsea and Arsenal. The reality is there isn't. Yeah. Last season, we closed what was it? The season before that, I think they finished over 25 points ahead of us, right? Last season, for a good chunk of the season, was above them. They finished 5 points ahead of us. Lucky for them, they had Marino that could fucking finish their chances. We had Jackson that kept missing. Guys like Madueke that kept missing, right? In the end, we left in the same place, Terry, 5 points below them. We both got Champions League. Difference is I left with glory. Not once, but twice. right? This season, we've gone into the season with Cole getting injured straight away. We didn't bring in a centre back. I was telling you all summer, we're competing. I wasn't running away from that. So I was putting myself in the same place as Arsenal, right? But I have to be honest, my confidence has gone down ever since I've seen our centre-back situation, bro. Okay. And that's what I've said to you. In order for us to keep up with these guys and compete with these guys, we need to keep our centre-back.
You say that's the final point.
Hold on, Terry. Sorry, that is the only difference for me. I don't look at Arsenal.
Fine. Only difference. So like you just said a minute ago, though, this is why I get confused by what you say, because you say one thing and then you say you mean something else. So you're saying there really isn't that big a difference between you guys?
No, I don't think there is.
Then if they must win the league, you at least must be really pushing and challenging close to the end. If there's not much difference between you, then the expectations can't be too different.
I'm sorry, Terry. You're undermining.
No. If there is, but then if you're saying your centre backs bring you that far down, that means there has to be a bigger gap between the two of you. You can't have a small gap between how people get top four, though. Yes, that's irrelevant. You can't say there's a small gap. It isn't. Let me finish. You can't say there's a small gap between both your teams. And Arsenal must win the league, but there not be an expectation on Chelsea to push Arsenal right until the end if there's only a small gap between you. If you're saying our centre-backs and defending is so bad that we're a top 4 team, but we won't challenge to win, that for me is a big gap. And I'll give you an example of the big gap. If the season repeats itself for 38 games based on the opening 11, you'll finish the season 20 points behind Arsenal. That's what you're on track to finish behind them. That's a fairly large gap. So it's either you're almost as good as them, or there is a gap between you, and we just want you to say which of the two you think it is.
Bro, I don't know how many times you want me to answer this question, bro. I've told you already. The only way we're going to compete, not just with Arsenal, with Man City, if Liverpool get themselves back in there, is we need to keep Fofana fit. It's as simple as that. Without Fofana, I'm sorry, bro. It's a top 4 team. I've said this many times. I've said this many times.
Without Fofana, there is a big gap without Fofana. Cool.
Let me make it clear. One second. Let me
do this. Hold on, Husam, before you come in.
It's crazy because the Arsenal fans on the chat.
Stop.
Let me. No, I'm the one that started this.
Now let me finish what I'm saying.
Let me just summarize what you've said.
You asked me the question and said, let me finish what I'm saying, bro. Terry, I don't know why you're acting like I'm literally not sitting here telling you the main difference between us and Arsenal is their centre backs. You give me Mosquera and you give me Hincapié in reserve. I'm coming here with more chest.
That's fine.
What am I not understanding? What am I not understanding?
I understand, Don. I understand that bit massively. But then you say there's not much of a difference between the two of you. But if you're saying the centre backs, if your centre backs are all fit and all available, which then most of the time they're not, they're very injury prone guys, and availability is something we assess when we assess a squad. We always have done. If without them, there's going to be a massive gap, and those centre backs are rarely available, that tells me there's still a big gap between your two teams.
But Terry, though, you haven't listened. The past 3 years, there's been a clear difference, bro. I spoke about the first year they competed, and when we finished 12th. They were miles ahead of us, right? The year with Poch, they were miles ahead of us, bro. Right? Last season, Maresca closed that gap. And for me, like I've said, that gap's been closed. They're not miles ahead of us anymore. The only difference, like I keep saying, is the centre-backs. If you'd asked me this 2 years ago, I would have said to you comfortably, bro, we're nowhere near these guys. But right now, we are. It's just those fucking centre-backs. That's the problem for me, bro.
So you're in the title race to the end.
Let me say something, Terry, this is very important. So let's summarize for the chat, guys. I started this whole debate. And there's a reason. First of all, Don is elite at the straw man argument. And I've noticed this because I've been noticing for the last 10 minutes. I've been quiet. The Arsenal fans that can't stand me in the chat are saying, you're making Husam look good. This is how bad your argument is. Every time Terry corners every time Terry corners you, your response is, yeah, but you're acting like I said Chelsea are going to be in top 4. No one's acting anything. Let's summarize what Don CFC said himself. Go subscribe to his channel. This is what Don himself said. Don said, we have a better forward line, better midfield, better fullbacks. Raya and Sanchez is close, but Raya is a little bit better. Centre backs, Gabriel is world class, but Fofana goes band for band with Saliba. But their centre backs are better than our centre backs. And Maresca is better than Arteta, but Arsenal must. So in Don's mind, this is why he doesn't realize how illogical he sounds. The reason why Arsenal must is just Gabriel Magalhaes. So chat, The only reason why Arsenal must is Gabriel Magalhaes. So if God forbid Gabriel Magalhaes is out till the end of the season, Arsenal don't have to win the league anymore. According to Greasy Don, that's his logic, not mine.
That's not my logic.
Now,
when I look,
That is your logic.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
So
Let me finish. You've been speaking for 10 minutes. You've been exposed in front of the chat. Let me just say this. So basically, let's use two completely different clubs. So Don is not emotionally invested. Let's use two completely different clubs so Don is not emotionally invested. Let's use my club as the example. So, in the summer, I go like, Arsenal fans, we have a better forward line than you. We have a better midfield than you. We have better fullbacks than you. But the only reason why Arsenal must is because you have better centre-backs and better goalkeeper. Oh, and by the way, Slot's better than Arteta. Everyone would go like, you cannot expect, just based off of two players on the football pitch, that one club must, compared to 9 positions on the football pitch, you being better than them. Don said something yesterday. The distance between Caicedo and Rodri is smaller than the distance between Reece James and Timber. Therefore implying that Reece James is the benchmark at right back. He probably thinks Cucurella's the benchmark at left back. He probably thinks that Caicedo's the benchmark at DM. And he probably thinks Palmer is the benchmark as the creator. Which by definition means you've got 4 benchmark players and you've got a manager better than Arteta. But Arsenal must, just because of Gabriel Magalhaes. So if you sell Gabriel Magalhaes tomorrow, Arsenal don't must anymore.
The thing is, I'm so confused.
Logic is illogical.
Hold on. You man can't have it both ways, because all I ever hear is Chelsea need a centre back. Chelsea should have bought a centre back. Chelsea should have bought this. Chelsea should have bought this. Chelsea need a new goalkeeper. Chelsea needs centre back. When I'm saying that I'm not confident in our centre backs, it's no, you should be, because every other area of your pitch, is. That don't make no sense to me.
No, it's because you can't hear. It's because you don't hear yourself.
Now you man are trying to tell me that my depth at centre back is on the same level as Hincapié's Mosquera. That's what you're trying to tell me. Yeah, that's what you're trying to tell me. Now, Husam, let me ask you a question, Husam. How many goals have Arsenal? Husam, answer the question, bro. How many goals have Arsenal conceded this season, bro?
I don't know. 3, 4.
They've conceded 5 goals. Yeah. Chelsea have conceded 11, right? Now answer this question, Husam. How many goals have Arsenal scored?
I don't know.
Well, they've scored less goals than us, and they're top of the league, right? Let me ask you as well. How many chances have they created? Have they created more than Chelsea, bro?
I don't
know.
They haven't. Yeah. So we've created more than them right now. We've scored more than them right now. But the proof is in the pudding. They've conceded less goals than us, bro. And a big reason why is because of their fucking centre-backs.
So Don, no one disagrees with that. And to your point around it, we're not challenging our own logic. We agree you need better centre-backs. I think you need a better goalkeeper as well for marginal gains. So we're talking marginal gains here. We're looking at Chelsea. You need better in those areas. I haven't said that ain't true. What we're talking about is the other things you say. And what you're not doing is you need to step outside of your own speaking and listen back to what you're saying. And Husam brought it down perfectly. You spoke about having 4 of the Premier League's benchmark players. You spoke about having 2 to 3 areas of the pitch that are better than Arsenal's, a manager that's better than Arsenal's. You say you've closed the gap. You say there's not much difference between your 2 teams, but yet one must win the league and the other one you think is going to be in the top 4. You put it down to the centre-backs and go, well, you guys think we need better centre-backs. Yes, we do. But we also think because of that, there is a gap between the 2 of you. What you won't admit.
How big is the gap for you then? How big is the gap for you then? How many points do you think they'll finish above us?
Well, I mean, right now, I think in the end, it'll end up being around sort of between 10 and 12 points is what I think it'll end up being.
I'm sorry. That's nothing in comparison. That's the point that I'm making it. You need to go back. I'm going back, right, to the time where we've basically fallen off even more. Right?
Yeah, you've closed this since then. No one's denied that. No one's denied that. Exactly what?
We're having
Don, you're equating that is logic to yours.
So you're proving my point for me then?
No, I'm not proving. I'm not proving your point. No one has said you haven't closed the gap.
You just said, hold on, bro. You just said, yeah, you think they're going to finish at least 10 to 12 points ahead of us, right?
Minimum.
Go check where they finished when we finished 12th, bro. And how many points that was. Yeah?
That is not, Don, I don't need to do that. I don't need to.
That's That's what I said to you, though. I said, because of that.
The argument.
Not, you're still missing the point. You are
missing the point, bro. They finished like 30 points ahead of us, bro. The season.
Nobody has denied, Don. Nobody has denied that you haven't closed the gap over the last couple of years. No one's denied that. We're talking about the fact that you keep saying there's barely any difference between you, while saying you've got a better manager and predominantly a better squad. But then you say at the same time, Arsenal must win the league, and because of your squad, you're only going to make top 4. Saying one team should be winning the league and the other's only going to make top 4 implies directly there is a gap, still a big gap between the two teams. Because
I'm sorry, you can finish top 4. You can finish top 4 and not finish far behind first, bro. Yeah.
But then why is your language? Then tell me your language. Then why isn't your language? Arsenal must win the league, but we're going to push them close because we're really near to them. We'll end up in top 4, but we're going to push Arsenal close. That is what you would say.
I'm not speaking to myself.
That is what you said. That is not what you said.
I literally said we need to keep Fofana fit to compete. That's what I said. I literally said that.
But you know he ain't going to be fit. He never is.
Yeah.
We don't know.
That's why it's a straw man argument.
It doesn't make sense.
You're saying he never is, but bro, I didn't think Reece would ever stay fit. If we manage this guy and he managed to stay fit somehow, I think we can compete and the gap would be even closer. But I'm being realistic.
Listen, the man has never played more than 30. I'm sorry. Fofana has never played more than 28 league games in his career. He hasn't played more than 15 league games since 2020. The idea that he's suddenly going to stay fit for the whole season is a pipe dream.
The thing is, this is what I'm saying to you, though. I've already said it. Man are trying to cook me for saying without Fofana, it's a top 4 team. Without Fofana, it's a top 4 team. With Fofana, we're going to compete. That's what I said, right? And on top of that, Terry, hold on, Terry. After the window shut, where did I predict Chelsea would finish? Where did I predict Arsenal would finish, bro? Tell the people.
You have to remind me. I don't remember everything.
I predicted Arsenal would finish 2nd. I moved us, and I put Chelsea 3rd, right? Because I saw what happened after the window. I saw their depth, and I saw our depth, and I saw our injuries.
All about your language. Your language implies more than what you say. You know, like in the Mihajlo Mudryk, Martinelli days, you would never say the words Mudryk's better, but in every debate, facet, argument, attribute, you would say Mudryk's better than him, but you wouldn't overall say he's better. You like to
imply. But the thing is, though, Terry, I don't. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's not just me saying this as a Chelsea fan, bro. Every single rival I speak to, Chelsea aren't far from being proper serious. You just need centre backs. You need this. You need that. When I'm saying the same thing, it's no, you can't be saying that because you rate everyone else.
You're not saying, Don. You ain't hearing it. Trust me, brother. We're friends, right? On a reels. Trust me when I tell you the way you say it, it doesn't sound like that at all.
What did I say? That makes it sound weird. Go on, tell me.
This is what makes it sound weird. Okay, I'm paraphrasing, so it's not word for word, but it's you say you close the gap and you're not far behind them at all. But then you do the Arsenal must, while saying we'll just make top 4.
Hold on. Where did I even say Arsenal must in this stream today? Because someone just started saying that. First, you said it. You said it. No.
You said it earlier. You said it. You did say it earlier on the stream. You asked.
What did I say earlier in the stream?
Sam asked you. I think this was around about 50 minutes. It might have been a little bit earlier. Sam said to you. By the way, David watching is why I take notes. He said to you, is it Arsenal must? You said yes because they have the best squad in the league, don't they? Those were your words.
No. Go back and show me that, then, innit? Go back and show me that because Husam earlier also said that I didn't have no expectations when that didn't even come out my mouth. Yeah. Then he's saying that I said Arsenal must. That hasn't even come out my mouth today, bro. What are you talking about?
You definitely said they must. You answered it as a question. I think you said something like, "No,
you didn't ask me." No one has asked me today.
When he comes back, we ask him. But I noted it down here. You said Arsenal must because they've got the best squad in the league. You agreed with the suggestion. You may not. So what you may not have done, court of law, you may not have said the words Arsenal must. But when you were asked, "Is it Arsenal must?" you said yes. Yeah, that's exactly the same thing.
You lot are moving mad, bro. You lot are honestly moving mad.
Husam, Don just said that he didn't agree with you on the stream when you said to him, "Is it Arsenal must?" He said that never got asked of me, and he never said that.
No, he did. I asked him this literally.
Go back to the minute. Go back to the minute where I said,
I said Arsenal must, and he said yes, Arsenal must. Wallahi,
we have. No.
You have cornered you so bad.
Hold on, Husam. We didn't even have a conversation today about Arsenal winning the league. You were talking about Arsenal coming to Stamford Bridge. Yeah, you were like, oh yeah, these guys, they should go there and try and get a point. You didn't ask me.
Yes,
Husam, you didn't ask me. Yeah,
what I did. Think. I swear I did. That's how I started this whole segment.
No, you didn't. The first
yes,
thing,
I did.
Husam, the first thing that you did was say, oh, I've got no expectations or some bullshit like that. When that didn't even come out my mouth.
Before I gave my monologue, I asked you, Arsenal must. You said yes. Wallahi, you said yes. I'll not say wallahi.
What did you ask me? Arsenal must. Terry, go back to the bit.
Before I started my paragraph.
That has not come out of my mouth today. Arsenal must. That ain't come out of my mouth.
Wallahi, I asked you, Arsenal must. You said yes.
You know. I listen. You're just making things up.
I asked you, bro. Ram, which timestamp was it, Ram?
Yeah, but hold on, Ram. Has Husam asked me today if Arsenal must win the league? Because that's the conversation that we're having. That's the conversation that we're having right now, bro. He ain't asked me today if Arsenal gonna win the league.
Bro, wallahi, I asked you.
You didn't ask me that today, bro. Ram, tell us the minute, and I'll go listen back to it right now. Yeah, because Terry's talking about the league. You didn't ask me today. Did you ask me if Arsenal must? You didn't ask me that today. Don't lie, bro.
Wallahi, I asked you today. Do Arsenal must?
And Ram, tell us the minute. Ram, you're right there in the chat. Write it down so I can go back and listen. Because I know Terry's trying to find it right now.
I'll go to it right now.
Go to it.
It was right when I started my monologue.
Go to it. Ram's nowhere to be seen. I just saw him saying I said that. Ram, where are you, bro? These Liverpool guys, because Ram's another liar as well. Ram likes to lie as well, blood. Look. You're so sad, aren't you? Look at this sad little life chain.
Found it. Stop. Found it.
Play.
Go on then. Everyone quiet.
My best centre-back is very injury-prone, right? And then the other guy on the other side who helps him is another injury-prone guy as well. You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe Arsenal must?
Yes, Arsenal must.
Did I not tell you I don't say wallahi and lie? Did I not say it's the start of my monologue? There you
said it. That's why.
How have you forgotten what you said 5 minutes ago?
He was lying the whole time. It's an agenda.
Lying the whole time.